I thought there was a funny chance that, you're going to click play on the songs. Not only has the person not somehow magically made it better, but it makes you realize, oh, I do actually suck at this. I actually started making music when I was really young, when I was probably about 10 or 12. I started playing with a game on PlayStation called Music Maker 2000, which was very limited. And I remember making some absolute trash and being super proud of it. Later on in life, I remember messing around with FL Studio, which back then was still called Fruity Loops. I'm pretty sure my brother got a pirated copy and shared it with me. When you opened it, it opened up with a already completed track. I think it was a remix of If at First You Don't Succeed, that song. I remember looking at that file and thinking, holy shit, it's so complex, it's so amazing. How could anyone ever make this? But then also kind of getting an insight as to, oh, it's just a thing you can do on your computer. Like it's a real tangible thing, not this amorphous thing that just existed on CDs. When I was young as well, I also, again, have a lot to thank my brother for. We had this speaker system at home and we had these big headphones, and he was listening to something and I asked what he was listening to, and he gave them to me, and it was playing Piggy by 9 Inch Nails, and they got right to the bit with the drum solo, and I remember laughing and saying to him, this is terrible. Like, it's out of time, this is so weird, what is this? And then, a few years later, when I was going through his CD collection again, I think I listened to that, and so what was that, The Fragile, and then Pretty Hate Machine, Downward Spiral and Pretty Hate Machine, and immediately that became my favorite albums. Pretty Hate Machine, I reckon I've listened to at least 500 times. I've always had a copy of it somehow. I had it on CD, I had it on mini disc, I had it on one of the first things that I would have put on my iPod, and I've had it stored on every single phone I've ever had, pretty much. So I've listened to that a few times, and probably the biggest compliment I've ever had is people telling me that my music sounds like that album, which I guess is not surprising when I've listened to it 45 million times. To me, there's something just so perfect about that album. There's something interesting about that spirit of someone who's trying as hard as they can just to make their thing become a reality. And also someone that's so young that has such a refined sense of the music they want to make. I think with those albums, there is a sense of it being a little bit, there's something sweet about how seriously a 21-year-old takes, relationships and sex and power and all those sort of things and turns them into a song in a way that I think when you're my age at 37, that sort of drive is gone. You don't see everything through that lens, nor do you see it so intensely through that lens. I'm just a massive fan of simplicity in songs, so I've always been a huge fan of bands like Devo, bands like Polyrock. You still want it to be catchy or something you can dance to, or something that you find yourself humming when you're cooking. So with the BeatDSM project, I sort of wanted to capture that mood and that feeling. I wanted to capture something that's danceable, something that's energetic, but something that also has lyrics that kind of take themselves a little bit too seriously sometimes. And to go with that, the marketing side of things, the way I present myself in my videos, I try to sort of play that up. I act a little bit stupid in my videos and a little bit, over the top, but I think I really like that idea of, musicians taking themselves way too seriously. Why I even came up with the name BeatDSM in the first place, obviously a play on BDSM. I'm a huge fan of Depeche Mode, and I really love when you see their old interviews. They go from their very early look, where they've definitely got the new wave, spiky, big hair and stuff. And then very quickly they try really hard to present themselves as these serious, sexy, wearing black and leather and spiky clothes sort of outfit, which is so funny and sweet because they still look like they're about 14 years old. And, they're still doing interviews on kids shows at the time. There's just that funny disconnect between they're creating something really serious, or serious to them, but they also made you just can't get enough. I also really enjoy the video making process for songs. Like the last song I released was Sweet. That was all shot on a green screen in Surrey Hills with one friend. And then, just comped together in After Effects with lots of design and small elements that have been added in to give it some depth and make it interesting. For the last album, I worked with Tim Carr out of Sydney, and he did the mix and master on the tracks. And it was funny because I'd never done that stuff before with my music. And I always knew my stuff wasn't sounding amazing. So I sent it all off to him. And when he sent it back, the guy who'd put me in touch with Tim, I got in contact with him and said, is it normal to feel stressed about listening to your mixed music? Because I was thinking, number one, I've just spent, a bit of money on getting this done. But number two, as someone that's, self-taught and not super confident in my musical skills, I thought there was a funny chance that, you're going to click play on the songs. Not only has the person not somehow magically made it better, but it makes you realize, oh, I do actually suck at this. So I felt an enormous sense of relief when I listened to the stuff Tim had done to my music, and I was just blown away by how much better it sounded. Yeah, I don't know. I think just keep releasing music. Really excited to release the next few songs. I've got probably 3 or 4 that are finished at the moment. I'm really keen to work out how to turn this into a live act and maybe play a few places. And there is one top secret. There's one top secret reveal for you. We've got more coming. There's more. Whoever thought BeatDSM could wear blue? And of course, there's a stupid blue ballad clubber coming. Don't you worry.